something that General Mathis was fighting against. If you have the right type of leader in place, you have to listen to that leader. The second thing that I actually agree with was the increase in funding that went specifically to the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, that they deserve to have a higher rate of pay. You can never pay them as much as the sacrifices they made. So that was a good thing. Now let me tell you what the problem is. I got interviewed on this question before where they said, should you have a larger military budget or a smaller military budget? So everyone right now is going around saying it's great that they got a 10% increase in budget. I'm sorry. I don't give gold stars for mediocrity. It's just something I'm prepared to do. They passed that bill 6 months into the year. So you know what that means? They had a 10% increase in budget for the year, but they only have 6 months to spend it. Because at the end of the period, you can't necessarily spend that money anymore. So if you have to spend more money faster, how efficient do you think that spend is going to be? Not very, right? Also, the group has thought the only thing they did to solve the problem was to throw more money at the problem. Part of the reason why we had aircraft that could not fly, and part of the reason why we've had ships that cannot sail, has less to do with the actual money, and it has to do with terms that we refer to as ops tempo, PERS tempo. Ops tempo is the amount and rate at which ships are actually performing their mission. So if you want to think about this in terms of like the University of Alabama football team, which at the college level is one of the best teams in the country, imagine that team playing a game in full pads every single day without having any time to practice or having any time to rest. So you threw more money at the problem, but you still have sailors that you're pulling off one ship that just came home in order to put on another ship because that ship doesn't have enough sailors to sail. Or you have aircraft that are actually deploying that need to be prepared to engage in combat operations. They don't have a complete squadron, so somebody who just came back immediately has to turn right back around and go back again. You're doing that over and over and over and over again, then you have pilots that are just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'll just go fight for the airlines, which pay me more money. Right? Does this all make sense, what I'm saying so far, from a commentary standpoint, right? So, when I look at Congress, and I look at the Armed Services Committee and their responsibility to provide oversight, what I would say to them is, okay, you threw a little bit more money at the problem, but your performance right now, as it pertains to taking care of sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardmen, it's not good enough. You need to do better. And so when I talk about being a different type of candidate, and I talk about wanting to represent this congressional district, and I talk about wanting to go to Washington, D.C. and serve on the Armed Services Committee, it's because I don't have to evaluate things based upon somebody handing me a brief. I know what happens, because that's my experience.
Very good.
Let's talk about the economy.